1, 2, 3, 1.
Finally, seeping is the key word here.
Smart enough to figure it out. I just ask questions and talk shit. I'm not the
All I
news.
saw was a lake, mountains, and some trees. Ugh. That's the running theme on this fucking podcast. Whoever deserves mocking, and that includes a host.
Man, there is a record amount of meth in this place.
Smitty.
Just sounds like stuttering Smitty.
Challenge 2022, y'all. Fuck milk crates, y'all.
The fuck
Yeah,
outta here.
action.
What the hell? Everything.
Hey, how's it going? Happy Monday. Is it a happy Monday, though? Yes, it is a happy Monday. We shall discuss at length. Happy What the Hell Everything Day. Yes, happy Monday. My name's Smitty. Thanks for joining me. If you are joining me on the live stream, doing it a little bit different now. Let me get... let's switch this camera. I like to see your face. Oh, wait. That's not how you do that. This is how you do that. You can't see my face. You can see my freshly shorn face, though. Like, freshly, just like an hour ago. It was time. Holy shit. And I'll get into exactly the reason why I decided to get rid of this fucking... What was it, out to here? It was, like, down to here. It was, like, down to, like, my fucking mid-chest, almost. I was getting down there. Somebody actually accused me of being Amish while I was working at Turtle Creek bartending the other day. Man. Yes, a happy Monday. Happy Monday. And I was almost like, am I going to make it on time? I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it on time today. I was rushing to do a couple things and get a couple things finished before I hit the podcast. And things are crazy right now. Things are nuts right now all around the fucking planet. It feels like. It definitely feels like it's the most chaotic that it's ever been in my lifetime. Politically, whatever the fucking terms are, geopolitically, politically, all that shit. It is, honestly, I gotta turn it off so my fucking stupid face is not in front of me. That's super distracting. But everything is just chaos. What I was going to say a moment ago was that starting out on this, doing this live stream now, I will be doing a little... I'd never do like Q&A or reading comments or talking to people. I'm going to make a way concerted effort because I'm more comfortable now doing this podcast, and I figured out a way to do it for me. I love having patrons take part and interact and talk and shoot the shit. Once you get to know me and I get to know you and it becomes fun, that was one thing I did miss and do miss about like doing like the radio show is having people call in. So at some point too, going to bring phones into the conversation at the end of the podcast. Once I get through everything I'm going to get through, and then I'll take a look at the comment section. So yeah, it is a good Monday because I had to do a pivot. You know, that's the famous quote, kind of working motto almost on this podcast is pivot. Wish I had that Friends drop. Because, I had to take on this third gig at Turtle Creek Casino. I'm bartending at the really, really nice premier steakhouse in northern Michigan for sure, the Bourbon 72 Steakhouse. And, with a stellar wine menu, stellar menu in general, and just stellar people I'm working with, and it's really awesome. But, man, it's been a lot to relearn. I worked at the Old Mountain Jack Steakhouse bartending and serving there. Goddamn, close to 17 years ago now. I worked there 2 different stints. Once after my last stint at Turtle Creek, where I was just like, I was just completely overwhelmed by like bartending, while trying to serve food in a high-paced, high-quality environment. You know, that was another high-quality steakhouse with it. You know, when you're busting out all sorts of premier wine. Okay, all right, this is and not every place does it right, but those two places did. But it was the first time it was just overwhelming. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Turtle Creek back then, it's pretty standard. The liquor, some liquor guns for your standard, just like, burr, 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 burr. I don't know if they still have that out on the floor. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't want to. Anyway, this is a completely different thing. Fine dining is a completely different thing. So my first stint at Mountain Jack's, I was just failed miserably. It felt like it anyway. Met a lot of great people, but I just sucked at it. Then a couple, 4-ish years later, after I got out of radio school and I was looking for a radio gig, got a hold of my friends at Mountain Jack's, and I'm like, hey, you got something for me? And they're like, yeah, we can put you as a server. I'm like, fuck, well, I need a job right now. Just got out of radio school, hadn't had a job yet, looking for a radio job, and I'm like, I need some fucking money. So, but that time, I was a little more wise, I was a little more learned, and I could figure things out, how to manage your time better, because it's such a fucking hard job. It absolutely is a hard job. Trying to run however many tables you got with trying to manage different personalities at different tables. First of all, trying to be nice to customers sometimes is a real ball buster. But then managing your time as far as just like when to put in people's orders, paying attention to what they're eating. People think that shit's easy, and it's fucking not. And but I got it the second time around. So when I had the chance to get this job, I was like, man, am I ready for that? Could I do that again? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And this time around, I mean, there's a huge learning curve because it's so much stuff to remember. It's so nice and so high quality food, high quality people, high quality service, and relearning that thing, how to make your brain remember that thing, is because I say it on the record. You listen to me on the radio for any length of time, you check out the podcast. First of all, I appreciate it. Thank you. But I am not the best at remembering. I like to say I thrive on reminders. Alarms. Sometimes you forget to put the alarms in, though, But it's just a thing throughout my life that, I can try to remember all I want, but just trying to remember everything. The system, there's, players club points and discounts and all these things, and you're just like, how do people remember all this stuff? I watch my trainer run this fucking bar that she has by herself for I don't know how long. It's pretty impressive because everybody knows her and everybody's like, oh yeah, no, she runs this place, and you can tell it. You can tell. It's pretty cool to watch, and I'm just trying to keep up. That's how it feels. But trying to remember things like yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. I was bartending. And, my lack of knowledge sometimes of like wine, or not having been in that world for a long time, you forget what's what sometimes. And me, I tend to have these blocks in my head where if I don't know something right away, I get really nervous if people are watching me. And I feel like I'm on the spot and I can't come up with the answer, or I can't perform a simple task, mind you, that I'm going to get into. I get nervous and I'm like, fuck. So I'm opening a bottle of wine. I get my wine cork out, or I get my wine opener out. It's got the knife on it, and you cut the paper over the cork. So I'm just, what the fuck is this not fucking cutting? And you cut a little bit usually, and then it usually just peels right off. I was fucking cutting and shit, and people behind me that ordered this wine, I could just feel not they're not staring me in the back of the head, I'm sure. But that's how it feels in that moment when you're all fucking, you have that, you're anxiety ridden and super nervous about just sucking at this fucking job. People have been very nice and I've been doing pretty well. But just in your head, you're like, oh my God, why can't I open this fucking bottle of wine? That's going in your head. And I'm just sweating. I am just fucking pouring fucking sweat. Just like, oh my God. I'm like, it's like, why is this fucking thing not opening? And I'm just twisting and cutting and cutting. And bless their heart, the customer behind me just goes, I think it's a twist off. Now, what I said in my head was, oh, fuck me. What I said out loud was, oh, you're absolutely right. Bless your heart. My glad you're there. You know, if there's one thing I got going for me at this job, it is my ability to talk shit and just to banter with people, because any sort of like, you get somebody's order wrong, which I have done pretty good at that. I'm taking pretty good, my fucking strong suit is definitely not note taking as well with written notes. My handwriting fucking sucks. And half the time I look at what the fuck I'm writing and it's like, what is this? I don't even know my own words because I just sit there and, I'm forcing myself lately, as in everything else around me in life, to like calm the fuck down. It's a real struggle sometimes. Just calm the fuck down. Take your time writing. Take your time. When you're in a high-paced environment like a restaurant, it's fucking tough to do. But take your time, man. Slow the fuck down and write actual letters. Pardon me. But it's little things like that. Overall, I'm doing pretty good. A lot of what I think I'm not doing right are a lot of insecurities in my head, but I am forgetting a lot of, I historically forget a lot of little things, but I'm reducing those things the more I learn, obviously. But you're like, am I going to suck at this job forever? In your head, no. The answer is no. You're a quite capable person, Smitty. You got to tell yourself these things. Anyway, that's why I lost the beard. Because I'm just like, I was fucking sweating balls, man. Couple nights. And like my hair, when I get really sweaty, because it's a fucking mop right now. It was trimmed thanks to Allie at Jude's Barbershop. But because she's like, yeah, I'm going to trim this back part out so you don't have a fucking mullet. And I'm like, bless your fucking heart. Anyway, because I have to put product in my hair and I have to press my hair down for like an hour or something before I can go to work. Because if I don't, it's just like this. I wish I had a picture to share of just how afro-y and just how crazy looking this thing is. Especially when I wake up in the morning. But after the end of a super sweaty, super humid, but running back and forth, sweating ass shift, it's just crazy looking. Anything I could do to reduce the sweatiness, you got to get rid of the beard. And I'm not ready to get rid of the hair yet. I might try to suck that up throughout the summer. It might be rough, though. Anyway, that's why I got rid of the beard. I can't believe I was that fucking twist off thing, though. In my head, it was funny. And I was like, oh my God, this is the fucking worst feeling in the world. I am just sitting there cutting this fucking wine bottle. This metal wine bottle. Nope, it's a twist off. Dipshit. Hey, I want to do a sponsor shout out to the fabulous folks. M22 in Sutton's Bay. Just honestly, it's one of the most well-placed little inns. If you're looking for a place to stay in one of the biggest, fastest growing tourist destinations in the country in northern Michigan, in a great place, strategically located right between Traverse City and Sutton's Bay, right on M22. That M22 drive loop in Benzie and Leelanau County is the most beautiful drive you're going to take almost anywhere. I mean, I challenge you to find a more beautiful drive. and they're great friends. M22 in Sutton's Bay. It make you feel super comfortable. These nice little kitchenettes in the room, and I can't thank them enough for being a part of this podcast and being a part of this journey. So M22 in Sutton's Bay. You're looking to book a room, by all means, please do so. I just realized I don't have a drinky poo in here. Let me clear my throat real quick. I feel better now. A dude, where's my lease progress report? I don't even know. There's definitely no progress. I've checked on a few places. I've sent a few messages, which, by the way, I don't even know if I really want to go off on this tangent. It makes me want to find people and hunt people down, people that scam. And I think I've only gotten it on Craigslist so far. You could tell it was from the same dealer or the same renter or whatever the fuck the term is by the wording in each post on Craigslist. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is the same person. And then I get the same response back, which was word for word, but it was, I'm trying to remember right off the top of my head. I could look it up. But it was, yes, it's still available. This place is still available. Send me your phone number so we can talk more easily, or whatever the fucking words were. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound right, you know? I'm glad I kind of pay attention, you know? I'm glad I'm sort of intelligent sometimes. I'm like, there's just something wrong about that. Why the fuck did you use that wording, you know? It seems very scammy. And then I text my boys, Tim and Ryan, and they're like, I think Ryan looked it up. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's that's a thing where they just ask for the phone number. It's like, bitch, why don't you just give your phone number to me, or just say, hey, meet here, or whatever. But you gotta navigate through this shit now, man. It's things like that. Like scammers, I feel like these are not my real feelings, probably, but they're there. And there's nothing I would ever suggest. But in those moments when if you were to get scammed and like fall for it, like if somebody wasn't as email savvy as me and weren't able to spot it and gave them their phone number, they could get fucked over. You know? In those moments, like if you could track them down, like murder could be like legal, right? Honestly, what if there was a fucking purge on scammers? Where if you could find them, like that, eliminate that crime right away. You know? Just on scammers. A purge only on scammers. You watch that shit fucking clean up real quick. But just looking for places in general is just bogus. Oh my God. I sent a few out, got one response, and it was, I don't even want to say how far away it was. I'm like, well, I guess, you know. But he's like, well, I need you here this, he goes, oh, yeah, 4:00 sharp tomorrow. I'm like, dude, I gotta work. And it's just like, I've had a few from people, a few friends send things and send a few links. Some I've followed up on, some I haven't yet. The bitch of it is just waiting to honestly just find out what your income's going to be, because I had to change jobs, and you know, you get the whole transfers of you essentially got to wait to get paid. And like I said before, you know, the winter was not very good to Smitty. So, the funds are just like, they're just little baby funds, you know, they're just little baby funds. But man, it's just like I haven't talked to any of these people in a minute, and it's a good thing probably, but I need to reach out. And I want to tell you, like, old Butch Codgers, the landlord who had sold the house. I don't even think they're a landlord anymore, but they're still communicating for the new owners. And I asked Levi the other day, I'm like, when was the last fucking correspondence? I'm just trying to figure out my course of action, because at this point, you know, they gave us less than 2 months. At this point, there's a month and a weekish before I got to be out of this fucking place. So I said to Levi, I'm like, oh, man, what's the last correspondence you had with these guys? And he said, Butch Codgers said that, if you don't sign the lease, because I haven't signed the month-to-month lease they sent. I'm like, fuck you. I already signed a lease, and that one disappeared. Why the fuck would I sign this one? That's kind of my mindset on it. Why the fuck would I sign that? But I guess they told Levi, if you don't sign the lease, then you're officially squatting. I'm not opposed to that either. I think there are squatter laws, which I would love to take advantage of in maybe not this situation, but it could be a thing, But he said, they also said that the new owners were going to give us 4 months, which is the end of August, like they had originally intended. But for some reason, their mortgage company was going to charge them, I want to say, with what Levi had said was mortgage fraud. And I don't understand fucking real estate laws. I am going to get, I do have an attorney recommended, a real estate attorney recommended, and I'm hoping to get him on the podcast in the next week or two. But yeah, I don't understand why is it mortgage fraud if you don't force somebody out? I'm curious how much those owners don't know. So I think what I want to do for sure is fucking email Butch Codgers and say, hey, look, put me in touch with the new fucking owners. I would much prefer to deal with them because I don't fucking hate them. Which, by the way, they left their shitty roofer company left all those shingles that they were replacing in the garage, and they were supposed to clean it up and never did. So I can't wait. I'm thinking about taking all of those shingles and putting it right in front of their fucking office door with a sign saying, "Oh, you forgot your shingles. We just thought we'd return them. You can sign it and say who it was, just so you know. We return your property." It's the right thing to do, because I hate those motherfuckers. All of them? Yeah. But I would if I can just deal with the new owners and just find out what is bullshit, because I don't trust these motherfuckers one single fucking bit. Ever, ever, ever. And I will do everything in my effort to fuck you over at this point. Because that's what happens when you try to fuck me over, I guess. I didn't think I was that vindictive. I would love to just let it go. But until I'm in the position where I don't have to worry about, being homeless with my cat. I mean, that's not necessarily the scenario because, as I've said before, I have people I can stay with. But, essentially not being able to find a fucking place to live, like we should be allowed to do. I don't know. That's how it feels. Because I want to tell these new owners, too, just all of the shoddy craftsmanship that they're getting themselves into. I kind of want to see the look on their face, or at least hear it in their voice. Oh, yeah, this place is fucked. And these guys did a shoddy work job as ordered, I feel like, as ordered by Butch Codgers, because that's what the roofer said. He said, yeah, just trying to cover that up. Don't really try to fix it. So I just want to tell people these things, I just want to be a big fucking asshole about this. But I don't want to be an asshole to the new owners, really. I just don't want to get fucked trying to get out of here. Give me enough time to plan my fucking exit, which I feel like is reasonable. And I don't feel like less than 2 months is very reasonable. It's pissing me off. I'm always the type of person to talk about stuff, If it's on my mind, I'm going to say it. It's not always the best move. I know this, and I probably have way too much fuck you in me. But I still just feel the need to say what's on my fucking mind half the time, I'm a big believer in just talk about shit when it needs to get talked about. Which is one reason I love what James Hetfield did. Switching gears flawlessly, mind you. I love what Hetfield did. James Hetfield from Metallica, obviously. On stage weekish or so ago now, where he basically just went on stage in the middle of the show or a few songs in or whatever and just talked about his mental health, talked about his struggles. And I know enough about him because I followed him like an insane fan my whole life pretty much now at this point. So I know he's got a lot of insecurities. I know he's dealt with a lot of sobriety issues, and is a person that I look up to because as much as I respect him as an artist, he is one of the premier metal fucking musical musicians in fucking history. Absolutely. But he still has these things in his head that tell him he sucks. You know what I mean? And I can relate to that on so many fucking levels. I said that at Turtle Creek to a couple coworkers now, well, to a bunch of coworkers in a meeting, because I think it's funny to also say this, but it's true, and it does suck that, yeah, you're good at this, but in your head you're like, you're awful. Nobody likes me. What the fuck's wrong with me? Like, it's always in there. So I said to people at Turtle Creek, they were saying, "Oh, you're doing a great job," and I'm like, I don't like hearing that. I need a certain amount of self-hatred to function like on a proper level. I need some kind of like self-loathing, which isn't necessarily the case, but it fucking feels like it half the time. I don't like fucking hearing compliments about myself. It makes me feel icky. I don't like it. It's fucking funny. But I loved seeing him essentially go on stage and just, talk about his insecurities, playing the songs that made them famous. I don't know what song it was specifically, because Hetfield is just a master precision, one of the most precise fucking rhythm guitar players of all time. Those fucking fast, down picking, precise as fuck riffs. I think he's worried he's getting old and he can't do it anymore. That's got to be a shitty feeling, man, when you get to that point. And I don't know if that'll go away. I'm not inside his head, obviously. There was a great point in that moment, the moment within the moment, where the rest of Metallica, Lars and Kirk and Rob came up and gave him a hug on stage because I think he got fairly emotional, and it was a great moment for him to share with the audience, to say, look, I'm just like you, you're like me. People fucking need to hear that shit, man. Because I honestly think I think everybody has these things, and nobody really talks about it that much. So the more people that do, God, feel free to talk about it. Feel free to say it, make stupid fucking jokes, I think it's gonna be a quick one today. Let's see if anybody. You never know if anybody is going to join along in the chat section of the live stream, and nobody did because. But they will at some point, because if you build it, they will come, and I'm 100% all about that. You guys, that's it for me. I want to thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, and I think Wednesday, 4:20, that's the next live stream. And what else is coming up? Recording, I think, on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, recording a new Rock and Roll Roundtable album review podcast with December and Michael. Look for that. That's Season 2, Episode 5. Patreon and Spotify. And, of course, the other audio platforms as well. What else? More reaction videos, going more down the rabbit holes on Patreon. Just doing what I do. Hey, peace out. Have a good one, guys. Oh, that's not how you get out of there.
So long, sucker.
Good night, everybody.
I am so sorry for everything that has happened.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right, I'll see you guys there. By the bar and get your face, huh? Get me paid, bitch.
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.
I love y'all very much. Peace out.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir. What the hell? Everything!